Nothing. The joke is funny even after 15 times, can you believe it, guys? I played a dozen or so Nexon games over the past 2 decades, some of which concurrently for over a decade, so I'm aware of how donkey shit this company is. So First Descendant was on my radar and I knew exactly what to expect before going in. And yeah, it was indeed a Nexon game. But over time, this budding studio under Nexon's rule managed to really pick up the slack and give us a genuinely enjoyable gameplay loop, enjoyable bosses, above average gunplay, albeit a little bit too late. And while the game is going for more of the Destiny crowd as opposed to the Warframe crowd, there is a lot of overlap between the games. Eerily so. And dare I say, Warframe can actually learn a few things from the First Descendant. Choosing when you can activate your boosters, completely swapping the rare from the common components when cracking amorphous material. But for me, the standout system is how the First Descendant handles polarizing your gear. Yeah, Warframe's Forma system kind of fucking blows. Polarizing weapons in Warframe is still a fucking chore. Not the leveling part, mind you. The time-consuming 23-hour wait. The farm for the blueprints and resources are pretty comparable when looking at Forma and crystallization catalysts. While Descendant and weapon leveling is a little bit on the slower side, research costs for the catalyst taking 7.5 hours as opposed to 23 is a much easier pill to swallow, and it doesn't really end there. Players learned pretty early on that builds in the First Descendant are much tighter on capacity, leaving very little wiggle room for experimentation, so the devs heard the complaints and made a change that honestly kind of floored me and solidified my trust for this team. Recatalyzing a slot with a different polarity doesn't simply swap over the polarity, but turns it into a sort of universal polarity, allowing the use of multiple different mods with mismatching polarities to get the benefit of costing half capacity. Warframe recently found itself giving us new mods for proper build variety more than just the standard damage multi-shot elemental setups of decades past. Stuff like the Acuity mods have replaced multi-shot in a lot of our builds. Issue: multi-shot uses Matter-Eye polarities, and Acuity is a Nariman, meaning a lot of weapons suddenly need Forma. I first felt this when they added Archon mods. Umbral Intensify is no longer a straight-up best in slot with Intensify and Precision, and Archon Vitality has a lot of use cases over Umbral. And it activates my almonds when you need to Forma over an Umbral polarity because outside of rare alerts, you're waiting 8 weeks to get these from Teshin. Even with the Forma Crucible currently sitting deep in the game's files for the past year with no release in sight, I don't think doubling down on Forma crafting is really the way to fix the situation. The First Descendant has already figured it out. Well, either that or just make Umbral universal polarity like come the fuck on, fuck me for not having the foresight to see build 6 years in the future. Oh dear god, it's been 6 years since the sacrifice. Look, DE, I know that you like to think that Forma is content. Why else would the Aclex Prime Act lack any polarities? But given that your stance has shifted on ludicrous 3.5-day frame crafting timers, I'm sure you can find it in your heart to throw us a little bone, because as someone who has been playing since 2014, if I have to Forma my Trinity one more fucking time, I am going to go postal. Yo, it's the party wiener! This dude's level 13 and still hasn't evolved. What a fucking useless bug. I'm gonna set you on fire.
Oh.
Nuh-uh.
Party wiener means business. How did
How
that not kill you? Oh, if this poisons me, I'm gonna be mad as fuck.